Section 1 you will hear a conversation between a student, Priya, and a student services officer, Mr. John, about the facilities available at the university. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning, Mr. John. I'm a new student here, and I wanted to get some information about the services and facilities available at the university.
Good morning, Priya. Welcome to the university. I'd be happy to help you with that. We have a wide range of services and facilities to support our students. What are you particularly interested in?
Thank you. I'm actually interested in knowing about the library accommodation and the sports facilities.
Great. Let's start with the library. The university library is one of the largest in the region. It's open 24 hours during exam periods and until p.m. on regular days. You'll find a vast collection of books, journals, and online resources.
That sounds very useful. How do I borrow books?
You'll need your student ID card to borrow books. You can borrow up to 10 books at a time, and the loan period is usually 3 weeks, but you can renew them online if you need more time. There are also self-checkout machines to make borrowing quicker.
That's really convenient. What about accommodation? I'm still looking for a place to stay.
The university offers a range of accommodation options, both on campus and off campus. On-campus options include single rooms, shared apartments, and studio flats. They are all furnished and come with utilities included in the rent. The on-campus accommodations are quite popular.
That sounds great. How do I apply for accommodation?
You can apply through the university's online portal. It's important to apply as early as possible because rooms are allocated on a first-come, first-served basis. If you prefer off-campus living, we also have a housing office that can help you find suitable accommodation nearby.
I'll definitely look into that. And what about the sports facilities? I enjoy playing tennis and swimming.
You'll be happy to know that our university has excellent sports facilities. We have a large sports center with a gym, indoor courts for basketball, badminton, and tennis, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. There are also outdoor fields for football, rugby, and cricket. Students can use these facilities at a discounted rate, and we also have various sports clubs you can join.
That sounds perfect. I'd love to join the tennis club. Do I need to sign up somewhere?
Yes, you can sign up at the sports center. They'll give you all the information you need, including the schedule and any fees. The tennis courts are quite popular, so it's a good idea to book your spot early.
I'll do that. Thank you so much, Mr. John. This information has been really helpful.
You're welcome, Priya. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to visit the Student Services office. We're here to help.
You have now reached the end of this section. Take a moment to review your answers and make sure you have not missed any questions.
Two students, Sarah and John, are discussing the courses and academic programs offered at their university with an academic advisor, Mr. Brown. They are trying to decide which courses to take for the upcoming semester. Pay close attention and respond to questions 7 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 7 to 10.
Good morning, Mr. Brown. We wanted to ask you some questions about the courses available this semester. We're still undecided about our options.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, John. Of course, I'd be happy to help. What are your areas of interest?
Well, I'm particularly interested in courses related to business and economics. I heard there's a new course on international trade. Could you tell me more about it?
Certainly, John. The International Trade course is designed to provide an in-depth understanding of global trade dynamics, covering topics like trade policies, international markets, and global economic trends. It's a Level 300 course, so you'll need to have completed the prerequisites in microeconomics and macroeconomics.
That sounds perfect. I've already completed those prerequisites. Do you know how the course is structured?
The course is structured around lectures, case studies, and a final project where you analyze a real-world trade scenario. It's a 3-credit course, and it meets twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Great, I'll definitely enroll in that one. What about you, Sarah? What are you thinking of taking?
I'm leaning towards something in the humanities. I've heard about a course called Modern European Literature. Do you have any details on that?
Yes, Modern European Literature is an excellent choice if you're interested in exploring the major literary movements in Europe from the 19th century to the present. This course is also at the 300 level and requires a prerequisite of world literature.
I've already taken world literature, so I should be good to go. How is the course graded?
The grading is based on a combination of essays, class participation, and a final exam. The course is worth 4 credits and is scheduled for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
That fits well with my schedule. I think I'll take that one.
I also heard there's a special workshop on academic writing. Is that still available?
Yes, the Academic Writing Workshop is a 1-credit course designed to help students improve their writing skills, particularly for research papers and essays. It's a short course that runs for the first 6 weeks of the semester, meeting once a week on Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
That would be really helpful. I'll add that to my schedule as well.
Sounds like both of you have some solid options. Make sure to finalize your registration by the end of this week. If you have any other questions, feel free to stop by my office.
Thanks so much for your help, Mr. Brown.
Yes, thank you.
You have now reached the end of this section. Take a moment to review your answers and make sure you have not missed any questions.
Section 2, you will hear a conversation between an employee, Sarah, and her manager, Mr. Roberts, about job responsibilities and workplace issues. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Section 2, you will hear a conversation between an employee, Sarah, and her manager, Mr. Roberts, about job responsibilities and workplace issues. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good morning, Mr. Roberts. Do you have a few minutes to discuss something about my job responsibilities?
Good morning, Sarah. Of course. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately. It seems like my workload has increased significantly, and I'm struggling to manage everything efficiently. I wanted to discuss if there's a way to prioritize my tasks better or perhaps reassign some of them.
I appreciate you bringing this up, Sarah. I understand that we've had a lot of projects come in recently, Can you tell me more about which tasks are causing you the most difficulty?
Sure. The main issue is with the new client accounts I've been assigned. I'm also still handling the ongoing projects from last quarter, and now I'm also expected to train the new intern. It's becoming a bit too much to juggle all at once.
That does sound like a lot. Let's see how we can make things more manageable for you. First, how about we redistribute some of the client accounts to other team members? I'm sure Jane and Mark can take on a few of those.
That would definitely help. I was also thinking that the intern might benefit more from a structured training program rather than just learning on the job with me. It would free up some of my time, and they might get more consistent training.
That's a good point. We can arrange for the intern to attend a series of training sessions that cover all the basics. I'll talk to HR about setting that up. Meanwhile, you can focus on the client work and the projects you're already handling.
That sounds like a great plan. I think it will make things more manageable for me.
I'm glad to hear that. We want to ensure that you're not overburdened and that you can maintain a good work-life balance. Let's review your workload again in a couple of weeks to see how these changes are working for you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I really appreciate your support.
You're welcome, Sarah. We're a team, and it's important that everyone feels supported. If anything else comes up, don't hesitate to reach out.
I will. Thanks again.
You have now reached the end of this section. Take a moment to review your answers and make sure you have not missed any questions. You have now reached the end of this section. Take a moment to review your answers and make sure you have not missed any questions.
You will hear a conversation between a university student, Maria, and a housing officer, Mr. Thompson, about housing services and utilities. First, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 15 to 20.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. I've recently moved into one of the university's off-campus apartments, and I have a few questions about the housing services and utilities.
Good afternoon, Maria. Welcome to the university housing. I'd be happy to assist you. What would you like to know?
Thank you. I noticed that the apartment came with some basic utilities included, but I'm not sure which ones are covered. Can you clarify that for me?
Certainly. The rent you pay includes water, heating, and internet. However, you'll need to arrange for electricity and gas separately. We recommend using the university's preferred providers for those services, as they offer discounts for students.
That's helpful to know. How do I go about setting up the electricity and gas services?
It's quite straightforward. You'll need to contact the providers directly. We have their contact information in the welcome packet you should have received when you moved in. Once you've set up the services, you can expect the first bill to arrive within a month.
I'll make sure to do that. Another thing I'm curious about is the maintenance service. What should I do if something in the apartment needs repairing?
For any maintenance issues, you can submit a request through the university's housing portal. We aim to address non-emergency issues within 48 hours. For emergencies, like a burst pipe, you can call our 24-hour helpline, and we'll send someone over right away.
That's reassuring. I noticed that the washing machine in my apartment isn't working properly. Should I report that through the portal?
Yes, please. Just provide a brief description of the problem, and our maintenance team will arrange to fix it as soon as possible.
I'll do that. Lastly, could you tell me about the waste disposal process? I saw different bins outside the building, and I'm not sure which one to use.
Of course. We have separate bins for general waste, recyclables, and organic waste. You'll find labels on each bin indicating what should go inside. It's important to sort your waste properly to comply with local regulations.
Got it. I'll make sure to follow the guidelines. Thank you for all the information, Mr. Thompson. This has been very helpful.
You're welcome, Maria. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out anytime. Enjoy your stay in the university housing.
I will. Thanks again.
You have now reached the end of this section. Remember to check that all your responses are written clearly and that you have followed any specific instructions given for each question.
Section 3, you will hear a conversation between a student, Jake, and a volunteer coordinator, Ms. Davis, about volunteering and charity work. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Good morning, Ms. Davis. I've been thinking about getting involved in some volunteer work, and I was hoping you could guide me through the options available.
Good morning, Jake. It's wonderful to hear that you're interested in volunteering. We have several opportunities available that cater to different interests and skills. Do you have anything specific in mind?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I'd like to do something that involves interacting with people, but I'm open to suggestions. What kind of projects are currently running?
We have a variety of projects you might be interested in. For example, we're currently working on a community outreach program that involves visiting elderly residents in their homes and assisting them with daily tasks. It's a great way to make a direct impact on someone's life.
That sounds really rewarding. What kind of tasks would I be expected to do?
The tasks are usually quite simple but very much appreciated by the residents. They include things like helping with grocery shopping, light housework, or simply keeping them company for a few hours. It's more about being there for them and providing some social interaction which they often lack.
I'd definitely be interested in that. How often would I need to volunteer?
We ask volunteers to commit to at least one visit per week, which typically lasts around 2 hours. However, you're welcome to do more if your schedule allows. We also provide training beforehand, so you'll feel prepared and confident when you start.
That sounds manageable. I'm also curious about any charity events you might be organizing. I've helped out at fundraising events before, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad you asked. We're organizing a charity run next month to raise funds for local shelters. We need volunteers to help with various tasks, like registering participants, setting up water stations, and guiding runners along the route. It's a one-day event, but it requires a lot of hands-on work.
I'd love to be involved in that too. When is the event, and how can I sign up?
The charity run is scheduled for the 15th of next month, and it starts at 8 a.m. We usually ask volunteers to arrive by 7:30 a.m. to help with setup. You can sign up right here in the office, or I can send you an online registration link if that's more convenient.
I think I'll sign up now while I'm here. Is there anything else I should know?
Just a couple of things. We provide all the necessary materials, like t-shirts and water bottles, for the event, so you don't need to bring anything special. Also, if you're interested, we have a volunteer appreciation dinner after the event to thank everyone for their hard work.
That's a nice touch. I'll definitely sign up for both the outreach program and the charity run. This sounds like a great way to get involved and give back to the community.
We're thrilled to have you on board, Jake. I'll get you started on the paperwork, and we'll go over the training schedule for the outreach program. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. I'm looking forward to it.
You're welcome, Jake. We appreciate your willingness to help. See you soon.
You have now reached the end of this section. Take a moment to review your answers and make sure you have not missed any questions.
You will hear a conversation between a university student, Emily, and an event coordinator, Mr. Johnson, about upcoming festivals and cultural events. First, you have some time to look at questions 28 to 30. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 28 to 30.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. I heard there are some exciting festivals and cultural events coming up on campus. I'm really interested in attending, but I'm not sure which ones to prioritize. Could you tell me a bit more about them?
Of course, Emily. We have a great lineup of events this season. Let me give you an overview of the three major ones. The first event is the International Food Festival, which is happening this weekend. It's one of our most popular events where students from different countries set up stalls to showcase their traditional dishes. It's a fantastic way to experience diverse cultures through food.
That sounds amazing. I love trying new foods. What time does it start?
It starts at 8 a.m. and goes on until p.m. on Saturday. You'll get a chance to try dishes from over 20 different countries, and there's even a cooking competition you can watch.
I'll definitely check that out. What other events are coming up?
The next big event is the Cultural Dance Night, scheduled for next Friday. This event features traditional and contemporary dance performances from various cultural groups on campus. It's always a vibrant and energetic night, with lots of colorful costumes and music.
I've heard about that one. What time does it start?
The performances begin at p.m. in the main auditorium and usually last about 2 hours. It's a great way to learn about different dance styles and traditions.
Sounds like a fun night. Is there anything else I should mark on my calendar?
Yes, the last event I'd recommend is the Art and Craft Exhibition, which will be held the following Sunday. This event showcases traditional and modern art pieces created by students and local artists. There will also be live demonstrations of crafting techniques like pottery and weaving.
I'm really interested in art, so I'll make sure to attend that. What time does it open?
The exhibition runs from a.m. to p.m. It's a more relaxed event, perfect for browsing and appreciating the artworks at your own pace.
Thanks for the information, Mr. Johnson. I'm excited to attend all three events.
You're welcome, Emily. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. Don't forget to bring your student ID for discounts at the food stalls and the art exhibition.
Will do. Thanks again.
That is the end of section 3. You now have some time to check your answers.
Section 4, you will hear a lecture about public services and facilities. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be discussing the wide array of public services and facilities available to residents in urban areas. These services are essential for the smooth functioning of a city and the well-being of its inhabitants. I'll be covering various categories of services, including healthcare, education, public transportation, emergency services, and waste management, among others. Let's begin by discussing healthcare services. Healthcare services in urban areas are typically more accessible than in rural regions. Cities often have multiple hospitals, clinics, and specialized medical centers that cater to different health needs. In most cities, public hospitals are government-funded, which means they provide essential medical care at low or no cost to residents. Additionally, there are community health centers that focus on preventive care, such as vaccinations, health screenings, and wellness programs. These centers are crucial in promoting public health and preventing the spread of diseases. Next, let's move on to education. Urban areas are known for their diverse educational institutions, ranging from primary schools to universities. Public schools are funded by the government and provide free education to children from the age of 5 or 6. In addition to traditional academic programs, many urban schools offer extracurricular activities such as sports, arts, and music to help students develop a well-rounded skill set. For higher education, cities usually have several colleges and universities offering a wide range of programs. These institutions often collaborate with industries to provide students with practical experience and job placements. Public transportation is another vital service in urban areas. It reduces traffic congestion, lowers pollution levels, and provides an affordable means of travel for residents. Most cities have a combination of buses, trains, and trams that cover various parts of the city. The public transportation system is often integrated, meaning that one ticket can be used for multiple modes of transport. For example, a resident might take a bus to the train station and then catch a train to work, all using the same ticket. Moreover, public transport systems are increasingly adopting sustainable practices, such as using electric buses and expanding bike-sharing programs. Now, let's talk about emergency services. These include police, fire departments, and ambulance services, all of which are essential for ensuring public safety. The police are responsible for maintaining law and order, investigating crimes, and protecting citizens. Fire departments are tasked with responding to fires, conducting fire safety inspections, and educating the public on fire prevention. Ambulance services provide critical medical care and transport patients to hospitals in emergencies. All these services are typically coordinated through a central emergency hotline, such as 911 in the United States or 112 in the European Union. Waste management is another crucial public service that keeps urban areas clean and healthy. It involves the collection, transportation, and disposal of waste. In many cities, waste is separated into different categories, such as recyclable materials, organic waste, and general waste. Recycling centers process recyclable materials, while organic waste is often composted. The remaining waste is usually sent to landfills or incinerated. Some cities are also adopting zero-waste initiatives, which aim to reduce the amount of waste sent to landfills by promoting recycling. In addition to these services, urban areas also provide various public facilities that contribute to the quality of life for residents. Parks and recreational areas, for example, offer spaces for relaxation, exercise, and socialization. Many cities have invested in creating green spaces that are accessible to all residents, regardless of their location. Libraries are another important public facility, offering access to books, digital resources, and educational programs. They serve as community hubs where people can gather, learn, and share knowledge. Public utilities, such as water, electricity, and gas, are also essential services provided to urban residents. These utilities are usually managed by government agencies or private companies under government regulation. Water supply systems ensure that clean drinking water is available to all residents, while sewage systems safely remove wastewater. Electricity and gas are supplied to homes and businesses for heating, cooking, and powering appliances. In recent years, there has been a push towards renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and mitigate the impact of climate change. Transportation infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and tunnels, is another critical component of public services. Well-maintained infrastructure ensures that people and goods can move efficiently throughout the city. In addition to traditional infrastructure, many cities are now investing in smart city technologies, such as traffic management systems and real-time public transport updates, to improve the efficiency of urban transportation. Lastly, social services play a vital role in supporting vulnerable populations in urban areas. These services include housing assistance, unemployment benefits, and support for individuals with disabilities. Social workers often collaborate with various government agencies and nonprofit organizations to provide these services. They work to ensure that everyone has access to basic necessities, such as shelter, food, and healthcare, and that individuals in need receive the support they require. Public services and facilities are the backbone of urban life. They provide essential support to residents, ensuring their health, safety, and well-being. As cities continue to grow, it is important that these services are maintained and expanded to meet the needs of all inhabitants. Investments in public services not only improve the quality of life but also contribute to the overall development and sustainability of urban areas. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this overview has given you a better understanding of the importance of public services and facilities in our cities.
That is the end of section 4. You now have some time to check your answers.